I'd like to call the meeting of the Springfield Board of Education to order for Tuesday, June 18th. Mr. Adams?
Roll call.
Please.
Mrs. Barola.
Yes.
Miss Terry.
Here.
Mr. Mason.
Here.
Mr. Hofer.
Here.
Mr. Furlong.
Here.
All present. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We'd like to start this.
I'm gonna start.
Huh?
I'm gonna start.
I know, I was just gonna say we're gonna do.
I'm gonna skip something.
Okay.
As most of you know, our community has suffered a tragic event with the loss of our student, Hunter Eby. Hunter was a student at Schropp Intermediate School, a son, a brother, a friend to many, especially his coaches and teammates of his football team. In times like this, it's very difficult to process what his parents, family, teachers, siblings, classmates, and teammates are going through. Hunter's family will need our community's continued support as they start to navigate this process. Hunter's family, please know you are not alone, and we will continue supporting you. Thank you to everyone who helped put together the vigil at the lake, those who came to support, those who have shared their faith, shown verbal and written support, donated carnations for the team to honor Hunter, shared stories of love and laughter, football stories of depleted secondary, donated to GoFundMe, participated in the memorial parade, wore Spartan Strong t-shirts, wore red, represented number 17 in your games, ate dinner to help benefit Hunter's memorial, brought food to the family, and so many more beautiful things. To Hunter's family, we share in your loss. This will not be an easy process, but we pledge to support you and to remember this young man. To everyone, be slow to judge, quick to love, say Hunter's name, and be proud that this young man has been a part of the Spartan community and will remain part of the Spartan community. If we could just have a moment of silence. Thank you. May his memory be a source of comfort for those who knew and loved him. Go ahead. Okay, first, we're going to recognize some 2024 retirees. I think we have a couple here. So, we're going to start with Kim Garrettson, and don't know if Kim is here. She's here. So Kim Garrettson was with the district for 22 years. In 2002, she joined our district as a bus driver from Laidlaw, and she remained in this position until retirement on 9/1/2023. Okay, I guess I should have been there. I'm sorry. All right. Laura Langsdale. Laura was with the district for 23 years. She was hired as a full-time teaching assistant at Boyer in 2000. In 2003, she moved to Young. In 2006, she moved to Roosevelt. In 2008, she moved to Young. In 2010, she moved to the high school. In 2011, she moved to Roosevelt. In 2013, she accepted a custodian position at the high school. And in 2018, she moved to Schropp in the admin building. In 2020, she moved to Young. And in 2021, she moved to Spring Hill. She will remain in this position until retirement on 11/1/2023. Next, Jeff, would you please come up? That's for you. Jeff has been with the district for 22 years. He was hired as a special ed teacher at the high school in 2002, and he remained in this position until recently, until June 1st, 2024. Thank you. Would you like to say something?
Would you like a bottle of water?
No, I'm good, thank you.
I brought some.
Thank you.
Just people want some.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shelley, you'll come up here. Shelley, one of the only other people I know who spells her name the same way I do. That's for you. Here you go. Shelley's been with the district for 29 years. She was hired in 1995 as a full-time teaching assistant at Young. And in 2001, you moved to Schropp. And then 2015-16, you accepted as the special ed secretary, or special education secretary, and you remained in this position until retirement in July 1st. Couple days. Thank you. Let's give everybody here a nice round of applause. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
This back for you.
Springfield Youth, are you representing, Dustin Halderman has a presentation.
It's less of a presentation than paying a bill, but
Well, that's a
Dustin, it's still a
presentation.
presentation.
we want to thank the school board for their cooperation in getting us a new scoreboard out at Schropp School. With their help, we were able to purchase a new scoreboard at the end of last year to replace the one that had been up since probably the 70s. So we want to thank them for that, and we have a short update on the program. 2 years ago, when we were having all the difficulty with the program, we had 54 football players and 58 cheerleaders in grades K through 6 involved in the program. This year, we have 97 football players and 92 cheerleaders in the program in grades K through 6. So thank you for your help. We're still growing and continuing to do better for the kids.
And aren't you doing something a little bit different with flag football too? Is that a new program, or is that something that you've always had?
The spring flag program
Uh-huh.
is something new that we started last year. We had 73 kids involved in that this year in grades K through 6, and that's co-ed, boys and girls for spring flag football.
Nice.
Their last games are this Sunday at Schropp.
Nice, all right, thank you. Oh, I'll take the check.
I'll give you the check.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dustin.
I will pass this along to you, Chris, in a minute. Thank you.
Board members informal. Go ahead, Miranda.
I really don't have much to say. It's been a rough couple weeks in the community. It hasn't just been the passing of Hunter, but we also lost a community member who has ties to the two families here in Springfield in a drowning at Springfield Lake. So it's the start of summer. I know we have a swimming pool. We plan on going to the ocean. Just keep people close. Don't be afraid to be the one to tell people to stay close and look out for one another.
I just have some quick updates from Columbus. It's a flurry of activity. There's been a response from another email from Steve Dimitrioff, July 17th. That's a conflict with me, so we're going to try to work out another date. Recently introduced legislation that I thought would affect school districts. House Bill 525 would make changes in penalty for assault when the victim is a school employee or volunteer. House Bill 561 would prohibit for-profit operators of community schools. House Bill 563, Future Educator Support Act, financial support for student teachers teaching as in demand job. House Bill 567, the Ed Choice Fair Financial Responsibility Act, revised the operation of Ed Choice Scholarship Program, and you've heard me talk about that, and vouchers. House Bill 579 would allow a township, this is interesting, allow a township to levy a tax to pay for school district resource officers. This is just recently introduced, so it's got a long way to go in Columbus. Multiple House bills that deal with charter school oversight and operations. That is tailored to the Senate side. That started this a little bit ago. And House Joint Resolution 6 would limit property tax increases for property owner not to more than 4% in a year. Like I said, multiple dealings with operations for charter schools, nonprofits, vouchers. That's getting a lot of headlines and press along with the community, along with tax races and valuations. I'll keep you abreast of it. I'll bring some more next month. There's a week and a half left until they recess for the summer for July 4th recess, and then there is no calendar yet for July through December, which should be a lame duck, so I'm not sure what's gonna pass, but House Bill 250 passed really quickly. It was the Cell Phone Act that went through like wildfire, so that one moved fast. That's the update from Columbus, and ditto, thank you, Miranda, for the update.
Yep, same thing here with Hunter's family. I did get to meet, sorry, both of his parents yesterday, but let's keep fighting. It's tough. Graduation was great. That was my first Springfield graduation, so I love that.
Same thing as Donnie, condolences to the family of Hunter, and graduation was my first as well, and it was wonderful to see our kids succeed and walk across that stage.
I'd like to extend my praise and thank you for the graduation that we had, and for that class that, I don't know, they just sparkled, didn't they? And then I would encourage people, once we get past, so far as support for Hunter's family, they're gonna need you a long time. So just remember, random card sometime, just to say we're thinking about you. Okay. I'm sorry. I can't afford to be personal. Okay, approval of minutes. It is recommended that the board approve the minutes of the regular meeting of May 21st, 2024, as shown in Exhibit 1.
Motion?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Mr. Adams?
Mrs. Frola,
Yes.
Ms. Terry,
Yes.
Mr. Furlong,
Yes.
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer.
Yes.
Motion passed. At this point, citizens may make comments on agenda items. They're welcome at this time, and participants are asked to limit to 5 minutes. Are there any citizens' comments? Okay, seeing none, we'll move to number 9, which is payments of the bills. It is recommended that the board approve payments of bills for the month of May, pending audit of those, and those are in Exhibit 2.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Moved and second, Mr. Adams?
Mr. Hofer,
Yes.
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mr. Furlong,
Yes.
Ms. Terry,
Yes.
Mrs. Frola.
Yes. Motion passed. Acceptance of financial reports. It is recommended that the board accept financial reports from the treasurer for May of 2024, and these are Exhibits 3, 4, and 5 on the agenda.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Mr. Adams, moved and second.
Mr. Furlong,
Yes.
Ms. Terry,
Yes.
Mrs. Frola,
Yes.
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer.
Yes.
Okay, motion passed. We will now move on to personnel, and we'll go through all the personnel and then have a motion at the end. Number 11.1, reduction in force for the classified. And then 11, do I need to say approve? But I'm not making a motion.
No, but you have to read that.
Oh, I have to read it, okay. Sorry about that, I'm getting my schooling. Approve a reduction of the following classified positions due to staffing need reasons effective the 24-25 school year, and those positions are as listed below on your agenda.
And those positions being ripped, we're just rearranging where teacher assistants need to be with the students, so you have to rip the positions, and then they will rebid for them.
11.2, reduction of force of a classified position. Approve a reduction of an accounts payable account clerk 4 position in accordance with the memorandum of understanding that was effective or will be effective June 30, 2024. This position will be replaced with an exempt position entitled Assistant Treasurer on July 1, 2024. 11.3 is employ Christine Poling as Assistant Treasurer at Step 7 of the Exempted Employees Benefit and Salary Agreement for a 3-year contract effective July 1st, 2024, continuing to receive insurance and leave benefits in accordance with Christine's original hire date with the Springfield local schools.
And this was the one that, during negotiations, we had gotten one position out of the union to become the assistant treasurer. So Chris Poling, who is now still doing the job, will just continue on. But now title will be, instead of accounts clerk 4, she'll now be the assistant treasurer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
11.3, employment and, 11.4, ESY teacher. Employ Stacy Pendergast to work as a substitute teacher for extended school year 2024 at an hourly rate of $28.25. 11.5, ESY transportation. Employ the following classified personnel to work extended school year, summer 2024, per the negotiated agreement pending sufficient student enrollment and proper licensure. And those 4 positions are listed on the agenda. 11.6, employment. Employ the following as classified substitutes per the negotiated agreement pending proper licensure and pre-employment screenings effective the first day assigned, and they are listed below. 11.7, employment. Employ Patricia Alejandro as a 4-hour custodian at Spring Hill Elementary per the negotiated agreement pending proper licensure and pre-employment screening, and that would be effective May 31st, 2024. 11.8, reassign classified employee Patricia Alejandro as a 4-hour custodian at Schrupp Intermediate per the negotiated agreement pending proper licensure, and that would be happened on June 4th, 2024. 11.9, reassign classified employee Vicki Kirby as the head building secretary at Schrupp Intermediate School per the negotiated agreement pending proper licensure effective 24-25 school year.
Vicki was one of our teaching assistants, and she's now going to become the head secretary of Schrupp. And Tina is being trained in these last couple of days here by Shelley to work at the in the administrative building.
Thank you. 11.10, employment. Employ Mackenzie Mondi as a 100% elementary teacher per the negotiated agreement pending proper licensure and pre-employment screening effective the 24-25 school year. 11.11, approve the following athletic supplemental contracts for the 24-25 school year per the negotiated agreement pending proper licensure and pre-employment screening. And all of those positions and supplementals are listed on the agenda. 11.12, volunteer coaches. Approve the following as volunteer coaches for the 24-25 school year, pending proper licensure and pre-employment screenings, and they are listed, those volunteers are listed on the agenda. 11.13, non-sport supplemental contracts. Approve the following non-sport supplementals for the 23-24 school year per the negotiated agreement pending proper licensure. Melinda Weekland, junior class advisor, 2%. I hope I read that right. This is 23-24. This is in addition to the previous 2% that she has received because she didn't have a co-advisor, so the supplemental does not have to be split between her and someone. 11.14, non-supplemental contracts, non-sport supplemental. Approve the following non-sport supplemental contracts for the 24-25 school year per the negotiated agreement, pending proper licensure. And those are listed on, all of those are listed on the agenda. 11.15, extended time. Approve the following extended time for the 24-25 school year. And those are listed below, on the agenda. 11.16, district leadership team. Approve the following teachers for the DLT, the district leadership team, per the negotiated agreement. Again, those are listed on the agenda. 11.17, building leadership teams. Approve the following for the building leadership teams per the negotiated agreement for Spring Hill, Schropp, and the junior high school. Those are listed on the agenda. God bless you. And 11.18, employ Michael Cooper as a 4-hour custodian at Spring Hill Elementary per the negotiated agreement, pending proper licensure and pre-employment screening, and that would be effective June 14, 2024. If we could have a motion for personnel items.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All right, it's been moved and second. Do you want to add anything? Okay. Mr. Adams?
Mrs. Frola,
Yes.
Ms. Terry,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer,
Yes.
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mr. Furlong.
Yes.
Okay. Motion approved, and a thank you to all the volunteer and supplementals and all the people that are supporting our kids with all the activities we can offer them. Number 12, revised school calendar. It is recommended that the board approve a revised 24-25 school calendar as in Exhibit 6.
So what we're doing here is we're making October 10th a teacher day because we are going to have a full-scale safety drill on this day, and the teachers are going to be involved. We'll have police and fire not only from Springfield and Lakemore, but surrounding cities. We're going to do it at the high school, so we're going to ask all the teachers to come to the high school and have different scenarios with the different teachers. And if any board member would like to, also come and participate in that, please come along.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, it's like I said, we didn't want it with the kids there, but we felt it was important that, the teachers have a part of it and see what's going on.
And everyone's on the same page.
Yes.
They all have the same
Yes.
instructions. I
Yes.
think that's important.
Yeah.
All right, a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Mr. Adams?
Ms. Terry,
Yes.
Mr. Furlong,
Yes.
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mrs. Frola,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer.
Yes.
Okay, motion passed. Number 13, it is recommended that the board approve a pay-to-participate fee, a reduction from $300 to $150 per student per sport with a $600 family cap per year, effective the 24-25 school year.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
So, yeah, so this is, something that's been talked about for a while. Talking with Mr. Vaughn, he's still, there's still going to be a lot of fundraising done by the teams to help offset the cost of this. But we think that this is gonna be something that's, it's gonna be good for our families and for our kids, for the sports. Or for any activities, actually, yes.
Mr. Adams?
Mr. Hofer,
Yes.
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mrs. Frola,
Yes.
Ms. Terry,
Yes.
Mr. Furlong.
Yes.
Motion passed. Number 14, service agreement. It is recommended that the board approve a service agreement with Educational Alternatives to provide educational services to students on an as-needed basis for the 24-25 school year.
Motion.
Second.
This is
Moved in second.
I'm sorry, this is an agreement that we use with Educational Alternatives on a needed basis. We use their services for students who need to attend an alternative school, and it's usually based on behaviors.
Mr. Adams?
Mr. Furlong,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer,
Yes.
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Ms. Terry,
Yes.
Mrs. Frola.
Yes. Motion passed. Number 15, it is recommended that the board approve a transfer from the general fund to the food service fund in the amount of $80,000.
So moved.
I'll second.
It's been moved in second. Does anyone want to speak to that?
Please do.
So I'll speak to this briefly. This is a item that we unfortunately have to do most years. We have some years that the food service fund does operate independently, but by law, we're required to operate that fund separately and keep it at the end of the year. We need to have at least a $0 balance in it. This year, some of the factors that contributed to this, we had a slight reduction in participation over this year, increased hours and staffing cost. Probably one of the largest factors is that we all feel at the grocery store every week is increased food and supply costs there that are affecting us. We did recently receive a grant, a supply chain assistance grant, so coming up that will help us with those costs there. And the last item is the uncollected meal charges for students who are, in that situation where they're maybe don't qualify for the free and reduced lunches, but also unable to pay. So we have a great deal of fees and in the system on that we've not been able to collect yet. A lot of times we do collect those as families are able to pay. So right now, this year, we just, have a larger balance in that, so.
Thank you, Justin. Mr. Adams?
Ms. Terry,
Yes.
Mrs. Frola,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer,
Yes.
Mr. Furlong,
Yes.
Mr. Mason.
Yes.
Okay, motion passed. Number 16, it is recommended that the board approve the final amended appropriations for fiscal year 2024, and those are listed in Exhibit 9.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Adams, it's been moved and seconded.
Yeah, every year, this and the next one are per Ohio Revised Code. The amended appropriations, it's just that there are some funds that you might have spent more or less. You'll notice that the general fund, we spent less, $5 million. So they want you to amend that fund. And since we're in oversight, they look at those funds closely. 001 is a big one. They want that to represent the actual charges. Some years you have food service, athletics, a lot of them are grants. A lot of the fund changes are from the grants. You know, you have a lot of changes in the grants. They have surplus allocations, so it just puts things in line. Doesn't impact our expenditures, and I'll talk about that in my presentation.
Been moved and second, Mr. Adams?
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mr. Furlong,
Yes.
Mrs. Frola,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer,
Yes.
Ms. Terry.
Yes.
Okay, motion passed. 17, it is recommended that the board approve the temporary appropriations resolution for the fiscal year 2025 as it appears in Exhibit 10.
So moved, or you second?
Okay, I'll second.
Mr. Adams, do you want to speak to anything?
This represents, when you have a temporary appropriation, that kind of keeps the district afloat until we do our permanent in October. I historically just take 25% of the current year appropriations. And then what I do is when I do my permanent, that's when I go through line by line, look at what happened last year, what factors may happen this year, because every year it changes. Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mr. Furlong,
Yes.
Mrs. Frola,
Yes.
Ms. Terry,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer.
Yes.
Okay, motion passed. Number 18, it is recommended that the board approve a resolution declaring it necessary to submit the question of the renewal of an existing tax levy to the electors of the Springfield Local School District pursuant to sections 5705.194 to 5705.197 of Ohio Revised Code.
I'll make a motion.
It's been moved and seconded.
Do a second.
Parker.
I'll go over there's three of them this year. And again, I'll talk about that in my presentation, what it's gonna do to the taxpayers and what it's gonna do to the district itself. Mr. Furlong,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer,
Yes.
Ms. Terry,
Yes.
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mrs. Frola.
Yes. The motion passed. Number 19, it is recommended that the board approve a resolution declaring it necessary to submit the question of the renewal of an existing tax levy to the electors of Springfield Local School District pursuant to sections 5705.194 to 5705.197 of the revised code.
So moved.
Second?
It's been moved and second, Mr. Adams?
Mr. Furlong,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer,
Yes.
Mrs. Frola,
Yes.
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Ms. Terry.
Yes.
Motion passed. Number 20, this is our third tax renewal matter. It is recommended that the board approve a resolution declaring it necessary to submit the question of the renewal of an existing tax levy to the electors of the Springfield Local School District pursuant to section 5705.21 of the Ohio Revised Code.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Adams, been moved and second?
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mrs. Frola,
Yes.
Ms. Terry,
Yes.
Mr. Furlong,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer.
Yes.
Motion passed. Number 21, the marching, it is recommended that the board approve an overnight extended trip for the Springfield Marching Band and chaperones to travel to Camp Muskingum for band camp from July 28, 2024 through August 3rd, 2024. All expenses for this will be paid through fundraising and by the participants.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved and second.
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer,
Yes.
Mr. Furlong,
Yes.
Ms. Terry,
Yes.
Mrs. Rowland.
Yes. Motion passed. Number 22.1, donations to the district. Accept a GAR grant of $10,000 awarded to teacher Andrea Novicki for the Artemis Mission, One Giant Leap for Out of This World Learning project.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Moved in second.
Ms. Terry,
Yes.
Mr. Furlong,
Yes.
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mrs. Frola,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer.
We're off. Yes.
Congratulations. All right, the treasurer's report.
Yeah.
Couple things, obviously, congratulations on the lucky ones. I didn't ask you where's he at? He left? Okay. Obviously, I'm excited to have Chris stay on and become my assistant treasurer. She's a wonderful employee, as in, I've been very fortunate for 15 years I've been here. My staff has always been very supportive, hasn't caused too many problems, which is a good thing. We work well together. The biggest thing I want to talk about, we passed three renewals tonight, and people ask me all the time, what's that mean? Well, there's two things it means. One, no new taxes. We've been paying on these for many years, many decades. They're the lifeblood of this district. 42%, it could change to 43, of our revenue is renewals. And so when I say, it's not gonna cost you more, it's not gonna cost you anymore. We dropped 3.77, obviously, because of the evaluation change that was created by the Department of Taxation. But if the when the three renewals pass, this will cause a major change in this district that we haven't seen in decades. We'll be fiscally sound for over 5 years. When you say fiscally sound, that means our children, our employees, everybody involved will benefit for this district. We need the passage of these renewals. I tell people all the time, no school, no community. I mean, just can you imagine? I mean, we had tragedy in this district, in the school, in the employees, in the community. Everybody got together and made something, that was horrific into something that's, I don't even know the word to use. But it's very important to have your school district, and these renewals will allow us for many years to come. So that's what you're gonna be hearing from me, so thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Ms. Stroud. Central office?
As I stated at the last board meeting, the summer is a time where we switch gears a little bit and work on a lot of projects. I did a building tour yesterday. The custodians are doing a great job getting through, cleaning the buildings. They're starting to, big sections already looking really nice, ready for next school year. Some hallways already waxed. So thank you to them for all their hard work in getting through that. And some of the projects that we're working on, just today we poured, I didn't, there was a concrete pad poured where the band bleachers used to sit. We're undergoing a project to replace the band bleachers. That will be done before football season starts. Those bleachers, we believe from what we've been able to piece together, were from as early as the 60s, and they were definitely showing their age and becoming dangerous there. So that project should be complete about this time next month, so.
And they used to travel, so apparently there were wheels on them, and they used to go up and down Canton Road to be transferred to different places that needed them.
Well, that was when the stadium was out front.
And I guess they would bring them to
Blades.
Schropp if they needed them at Schropp, and then they'd bring them to all over the different places, so yeah, it was time.
Yeah.
We had a couple kids fall through last year.
So that will be a big visible project that you'll see. Also some other repair work being done around the stadium there along with that. And we are, from the technology perspective, we're installing a new visitor management system. It'll streamline the check-in process of the building while ensuring that we're checking backgrounds of visitors and knowing who's coming and going from the school and where their purposes are. Again, it'll continue with having the badges that are printed out with pictures, so if anybody's in the building, they would have picture ID with that. And with that system, we'll also be working with that program that will help streamline the parent pickups at the schools there. So there'll be at Spring Hill and Schropp, they will have hopefully a quicker, more streamlined process for parents to go through when picking up their students there and get the kids out there quickly, and there'll be more tracking to when kids were picked up, who they were picked up by, and so on there.
And who they're not allowed to be picked up by, so that will be things that are on there, like, we'll know, like, if like if you have them during Monday through Friday, or however it works, so it will have it all right there.
From my end, the extended school year program for our students that show a significant regression when they have long breaks is a little over halfway done. They have 6 sessions left, and it's been going really well. We have probably about 60 students from pre-K all the way up to 12th grade attending. So it's been going well. We have speech therapists, occupational therapists, and physical therapists attending as well. So the kids are getting all of their related services if they qualify for those for extended school year. So the kids seem happy. The teachers do a great job of making it like more of like a summer camp atmosphere instead of like traditional school, so that it's a little bit more engaging and fun for them since they're here when a lot of their peers are not. So it's going well.
Thank you.
And let's not forget too, if you have kindergartners out there, to get them registered. And if you've got 3 or 4-year-olds, all right?
Yep, or 5-year-olds that turn 5 after August 1st.
Okay, get them set up for our preschool. But the kindergartners, get them out there so we can get you scheduled for screenings for that.
Yep.
So June, just like, for Dustin, and it's a very busy month for us. We're already working on next year. It's just 1 year. It's very confusing when you say this year, next year, last
It
year.
is next year.
It is next year.
It
So
is next year.
because I keep saying next
School
year,
talk.
but it's not next year, it's this year, but it's, and then when I say next year, they're going like, what do you talk about, 26, 27, or 25, 26, whatever. So we're working on that. I'll have more of a complete and update in the July. We should have everything organized by then to let you know. And, as always, if anyone ever has any questions or concerns, please call me, especially, went out with House Bill 250 with the cell phone policy and the communications policy. We know that's going to be a change. If you have any questions about that, please give me a call. I would, let's sit down and talk to you about it. And families, if you could start in the summertime having some no cell phone days or couple hours during the week where you just throw down all devices, that will really help get the kids ready for when they come back to school on that. So, and I'm sure if you reach out, there's a lot of community members, if you reach out to anybody, they'll tell you that this, even though it's from Governor DeWine, it is a good thing because our kids need to be unplugged. And we need to start focusing back on school and focusing on the socialization part again. So I know it's gonna be a tough road, but I think it's a good road to be on. I think it's a good road to be on. And it's gonna be a tough road for the teachers, so we're gonna have a lot of work together on this one.
And
Okay.
Am I correct that this is a cell phone policy that was developed by administration and teachers?
Yes, yeah, we met with the high school for about 3 or 4 weeks, to come up with, the different plans. We took what Governor DeWine, had put in through the policy of 250, we took that, and then we looked at other policies from surrounding areas, and we took the best of what we thought was the best of everything to create ours. And then in Schropp, we got together and, we worked that one out. It was a little bit longer meeting from 1 hour, but it was a good meeting. And it was and we got some good plans for that. Where Schropp had always had a policy that they keep it in their lockers, so that's always been theirs. But what we did is we just, what's the word I'm looking for? We just cleaned it up a little bit, and to make sure everybody's on the same page. So like I said, I think it's going to be a really good thing. I'm excited for it.
Thank you. Items worthy of your note for the district, June 19th, all district buildings will be closed for Juneteenth Day. July 16, the next regular Board of Education meeting at 6 p.m. In the administration building, unless it's still really hot. All right, and then at this time, is it a time set aside for citizens' comments? Do we have any citizens, anyone present who would like to comment?
On behalf of SLACT, first I would like to extend the sincerest condolences to Hunter Eby's family, classmates, friends, and his teachers. I did not know Hunter myself, but last week I began receiving phone calls from many of his teachers, and they shared some pretty amazing stories. It sounds like he was a true Spartan, and so we would like to extend strength and condolence to those. Thank you for the opportunity for me to speak this evening. Today I shared the voice of a large percentage of our dedicated Springfield educators through the evaluations that our teachers have thoughtfully completed for our administrators. I do not remember a time in SLAC where we've had such a large participation for these evaluations. Our educators want their voices heard now more than ever at the national, the state level, like Mr. Hofer knows, and most importantly at the local level here in Springfield. We all know that communication and feedback are essential for growth and improvement of any organization, and we know we're no different. Our teachers have provided valuable insights through these evaluations, reflecting their experiences and perspectives from the front lines of our school buildings where we spend our days with children. These evaluations are not just about identifying areas of improvement. They're also about recognizing the strengths that our administrators have, especially at our building levels. And we hope that they will be met with the collaborative spirit from you, where every voice is heard, valued, and we're all considered. I appreciate your attention. We hope the insight you gain from the time taken on these will provide you with an understanding that our teachers continue to have a great need for support, to be valued, respected, recognized, and mostly to ask for further transparency and communication. Our teachers agreed to have no raise on our base salary next year, again in good faith because we know our district is in fiscal watch. We're extremely happy that we will be bringing back more staff and program for our students. That's amazing. And we have watched other unions in our district settle contracts this year that show the value that we value them as a district in this deserved step that they received. We now ask that you consider and begin preparing to do the same for Springfield educators, as we're the largest part of the heart of this district. SLACT asks for a commitment from both administration as well as all school board members to listen to us and work with us. We do acknowledge that there's a board policy that's now being enforced, preventing educators from communicating with school board members. Our hope, though, is that the feedback provided tonight will promote a foundation for a more collaborative, stronger relationship that will benefit this school district for years to come. Thanks for your time, your attention, and your willingness to listen to the voices of our teachers. We look forward to your responses and collaboration about these. We're SLAC strong, but together we're all Spartan strong, and we want to make that better.
Are there any other comments, citizens? Seeing none, it's recommended that the meeting be adjourned at this time.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved in second, Mr. Adams.
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Ms. Terry,
Yes.
Mrs. Frola,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer,
Yes.
Mr. Furlong.
Yes.
Motion passed. The meeting is adjourned.